platforms, featuring a series of partner events which will highlight your favorite products, manufacturers, artists, and more. Join us every day at 2 o'clock p.m. from November 1st through December 20th for exciting interviews, live audience Q&As, and a chance to win special prizes. Head over to the Fishman YouTube channel now to subscribe and set your notifications so you don't miss out on any of these events. Hey everyone, it is Monday and you're watching the Fishman Partnership Series. I am your host, per usual, Mr. Ken Susi, Product Manager here at Fishman. Just so you know, again, we are here to highlight all of our great partners, all the people that we do business with and they do business with us. It takes a lot of energy to make Fishman products, but it's also takes a lot of energy as our partners put a lot of emphasis on their products, and they're using Fishman products in their instruments. Today, you might be watching this live stream on the Fishman Facebook, the Fishman YouTube, or our Twitch account. But you may also be over at Strandberg on their Facebook account saying, why is there a Fishman Partnership Series going on? Well, we have Ola Strandberg here today, representing his own company and the Strandberg guitar line, and we're going to be talking about our partnership together. I have a very, very big announcement. We are giving away, we've been giving away something pretty much almost every other day or every few days. Well, for those of you that are popping in and say hi, I'm seeing a lot of you guys saying hi to me. And it's so great to have you guys here on time. But Randy right here saying, I'm at work, sneaking this one in. Well, you made a wise decision. We are giving away a set of Fishman modern humbuckers, 6, 7, or 8 string pickups. I know this isn't our usual takeover. It is our partnership series, but this is the graphic that I have for all of those pickups that we're giving away. So one lucky winner is going to win these pickups by the end of this live stream. And do me the favor, the only way to enter is to head over to the Fishman YouTube, click the like and subscribe button, set your notifications so you don't miss out on any of our giveaways. And we will be, basically there's a link in the comment, you click that, and you can enter to win this amazing prize right here. 6, 7, or 8 string, modern humbuckers, Fishmanfluence. Do not miss out. And if you have any questions about any type of Fishman products, head over to www.fishman.com. You can check out our acoustic amplification, our amps, our acoustic pickups, our MIDI guitar pickups, our Fishmanfluence pickups. Actually, you could pretty much head over there now and pick out the pickups that you want. So, enough about this giveaway, enough of me. I'd like to introduce our first guest, Mr. Ola Strandberg. How you doing, Ola?
Pretty good. Hi, Ken. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you here. I've been looking forward to talking to you and seeing you all week. I have to give you an A+. I know that I made a joke when we first popped online, but Ola so far is the most prepared. He has the best looking background. He looks great. He sounds great. This is just normal stuff, right? So,
except I'm prepared with Sarah's guitar, but I'm obviously on a green screen, so that was a complete failure.
Well, we still have to show it. We have great pictures of it too. And let me head over to our other guest, Sarah Longfield. Sarah, how you doing?
I'm good. I have a much less fancy setup than Ola, but I'm here and I'm good.
That's awesome. But you got all the gear behind. You got cellos, you got cameras. Sarah's just an artist all year round. That's what it is.
Yep.
So guys, if you want to ask any questions, I'm going to be popping your questions over here up on the screen at any time. And you can ask Sarah, you can ask Ola, anything you want to do. But I'm going to get anything that you want to know. I'm going to get this thing rolling, and we're going to ask Ola our first question. Ola, how did you first encounter music? Because you've been in the industry for a little while, but what was your first impression of music? What was that?
My first memory of actually listening to music in any concentrated way was Santana third album, because there was a song on it, the first song called Batuka, which reminded me of the Beretta theme. I bet most viewers are too young to relate to the Beretta TV show, but at least back in when I grew up, so this would have been the mid-70s, that was a big deal when Beretta came on, and we were allowed to stay up late and watch that's my first real memory of thinking about music and listening to it.
Awesome.
Because it was something that made sense.
Nice. What about you, Sarah?
Mine is like a combination of two different things. So, my parents bought me this really tiny toy keyboard, like you get any kid when they're like 2 or 3 years old, and that was like my favorite toy. And I didn't know how to write music, so I made up my own like notation for it, and I would try to like write lyrics, but I couldn't like, write because I was like 3 years old. So I would just squiggle things and then be like, I wrote a song. And then the thing that made me like music, and like the first song that I remember like cognitively connecting to was She Drives Me Crazy by the Fine Young Cannibals. My mom used to play that song for me on repeat while she was vacuuming because I hated the sound of the vacuum, but I loved that song. So I would just hide under the couch and listen to that song on repeat.
I'm guilty pleasure alert. I also really liked that song when I was younger as well.
It's great. It's a great song. It's such a jam.
That's awesome. Well, Ola, you've been building guitars for a while. When did you first start building guitars?
Well, I played guitar obviously when I was younger, and I didn't have a lot of money, and back in these days there weren't the affordable playable guitars that exist now. So I started messing with guitars because I thought I could, and just try to modify things and replace pickups and did things like that. But it wasn't until I read an interview with Alan Holsworth, who was my big idol in Guitar Player magazine, and he described the process that he had gone through with Grover Jackson, building him guitars out of a material called Jellytong. And I just turned a bowl out of Jellytong in school woodshop, which was something you did when I grew up. And it kind of clicked that, or it just dawned on me that maybe a guitar isn't some piece of voodoo, but actually something that you can build yourself. So this would have been in my late teens sometime, and it was just something fun that was within my grasp. So I did it and got some help from one of my teachers at school, and I borrowed some tools from a local guitar builder, and off it went. I guess I built about a handful instruments back then, a few for myself, but pretty quickly I started also selling a few guitars, and I did repairs for the local music store.
Nice.
So it did start early.
Well, I was gonna say that to me, being a heavy metal guitar player myself, I personally started seeing your guitar maybe 10 years ago or so, and I was just they really caught my eye. But the first time I met you, we went out to dinner with Larry Fishman. You were saying you've been building guitars, I mean, like professionally for such a long time, right? So from high school, when did you start taking it seriously? Well, not seriously, but starting to produce them.
Yeah, I mean, I made that handful of guitars, and then computers came into my life. My wife came into my life, and children, a career came into my life. So I wasn't like involved in music at all. I didn't play for 15 years, and it wasn't until we lived in the UK for a couple of years. We lived in the US for some time and moved back. And I guess it was kind of a midlife crisis / almost mental burnout that got me thinking about building myself another guitar. And this was Christmas holiday 2007. So the like 07, 08 turn of that year. And it was literally just, I thought I would do something to take my mind off things and build myself another guitar. But then there was this thing called blogging, which I read about somewhere, and that was becoming popular at the time. So I obviously, like any midlife crisis person would do, I started blogging about my guitar project, and I guess the rest is history.
So you started blogging and gathering. Were you gathering a lot of interest through those blogs? Because I mean, the threads and the forums and stuff seem to be, especially at that time. I mean, they were the holy grail, right? Information at that point.
Yeah, because the thing is, I was kind of looking for a problem to solve, if you will, not just build myself another guitar, which I could have, but I decided to do something more. My career at the time was more like in software, which is what my career has been, but it was all about product development. So I decided to like set myself the challenge to not just build a guitar, but design a product or a suite of products that I would like to have myself. And I knew I wanted to build a headless guitar because I had built myself a headless back in the day when I built those first few guitars. But when I started to look for headless hardware, there wasn't any to buy anywhere. So that's when I kind of stumbled on this community called buildingtheergonomicguitar.com. And they seemed to be doing interesting things, and they weren't too concerned about tradition or necessarily conforming. And that kind of resonated with me, and I thought, well, this makes sense. Let me build an ergonomic guitar. But I also noted that a lot of what was going on there was literally like trying to solve going all in and trying to solve every ergonomic problem with the guitar for a specific player. So I wanted to approach it a little more holistically in terms of how does this thing look? Is this thing going to inspire me and everyone else? And I thought it couldn't look too out of place and too far away from conventional guitars. So I started like sketching the guitar that I would like to own that was still ergonomic. And I posted about this in a guitar builder forum called Project Guitar. And yeah, that just took off. A lot of engagement. A lot of people saw the hardware and they wanted to buy the hardware because obviously they couldn't buy anything else either. So that had me kind of sidetracked for over 2 years, just selling hardware to other builders before I could make my own first guitar.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Before we move back over to Sarah, and then we'll come back to you. Guys, we are giving away a set of Fishman modern humbuckers by the end of this live stream. So if you're watching on the Fishman YouTube or the Strandberg Facebook or the Fishman Facebook or anything, head over to our YouTube channel, click the link in the description, like and subscribe, set your notifications so you don't miss out on any of these giveaways. But with that being said, you can enter to win a set of modern humbuckers. So Sarah, real quick. So when you first, I mean, obviously Ola's been at it for a while. When you first saw the Strandberg guitar, what did that tell you? Because there is a connection that musicians have with their instruments, and like the second you see something, you're like, I need this. And that guitar's been your guitar for a while. So what was that first impression?
So for me, like when I first saw the Strandberg guitar, I saw Tosin playing it, I saw Misha playing it, I saw Chris Letchford had one, and these were all players that to me at the time were so like miles away from where I was at. I mean, I was like 17, 18, I was very young, and so I was like, wow, those guitars are so cool, but I'll never be able to own one, you know, like I'm just like, you know, not there, not good enough, not like, you know, deserving of it. But I was looking for a custom guitar at the time, so I went through like a smaller builder who happened to also be doing some first run like USA prototypes for Strandberg. Long story short, they messed up the custom guitar, like they just made a totally different guitar than the one that I wanted, and they were like, oh well, we have this Strandberg here, would you be interested in buying this instead? And I was like, yeah, that would be awesome. And I got it, and I had no idea what to expect. And I sat down with it, and in like the first 2 seconds of playing it, I was like, yes, this is the guitar. This is so much better. Like, I'm so happy that that original guitar thing did not work out, and this did. And I remember just sitting down and immediately being like, this is more comfortable. It feels like the second I'm thinking the note, I'm playing the note. There's nothing in the guitar that's getting in the way of me playing. And I was just so happy to have it. So I started making videos with it. And then Ola saw the videos, and this was back in like 2011 or 2012. And so then he sent me a message or an email and was like, we should work together. Like, and since then, yeah, now all this has happened.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Ola, let's hop over to here. We have a question for you that's popping up. And this kind of relates to one of the questions that I had for you too. Right here, Doug is saying, I'm impressed with your true temperament fretting system. Is there much of a learning curve to play on this type of neck? And I'm going to add, I'm also going to add with this is like, I mean, you've approached your guitars from the ground up. What was your thought process when you were designing these guitars? Because I think that all of this goes hand in hand.
Yeah, so I think to kind of address the latter part of the question first, I think, I mean, I went into it with not really a guitar builder background. I didn't do a lot of research, like how to build a guitar. I approached it more from like an industrial design perspective or an engineer's perspective, because I am an engineer at heart. So I guess I was, since this was more of a hobby project than something that I wanted to like realize a dream or build a business of, I had no need to conform. So I looked at it from the outside. How can I accomplish what I need, which is an inspirational, functional instrument. But then also from like the industrial design perspective, I also thought that I don't want to design all kinds of bespoke solutions that can't be maintained. So whatever I come up with has to be serviceable by a guitar technician without special skills. So I kind of set myself at least some frames, and again, just designed this product concept because it was fun. But then I wanted to make it ergonomic. I wanted to make it lightweight. I wanted to make it beautiful. And obviously, it had to also sound good. So I think overall, I would just look for products that would complement those thoughts. So hence the Fishman connection. But also the True Temperament fretting system, which is, it is not my invention. It is a Swedish invention. The inventor is called Anders Tidell. And there's a company called True Temperament. And well, basically what it is that, so the intervals between the notes aren't, they're not proportional across the scale. So everything on a guitar is a compromise. So what the True Temperament system does, it has a listening approach to accomplishing as close as possible to perfect intonation. There's a mathematical approach, which is mathematically correct, but it doesn't sound right when you play it. So that's what's really cool about it. So it's the squiggly frets. If you don't know the name, I'm sure you've seen the squiggly frets somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's like ergonomics for your ears in a way. So if the lightweight is ergonomics for your shoulder, our patented neck profile is ergonomics for your wrist and hand, then playing notes that are more in tune, I would call ergonomics for your ears, and it just makes sense when you try it, and there's literally no learning curve. They only look strange when you look at it from the front. You'll hardly notice when it's in your lap, and certainly as you play, there's no difference except it just sounds better. Chords ring louder, so it's a cool invention.
Nice. Well, I would totally agree with you with everything that you just said, because it doesn't really feel that much different, and if anything, it feels more comfortable on your hand. But we should dive into Sarah's guitar. But before Sarah, I'm going to have you talk about your guitar. But before that, I'm going to show a quick video of you playing your actual instrument, and then we'll just discuss it. So, guys, check this out. This is Sarah Longfield. In case if you guys were wondering, Sarah's probably a better guitarist than you, so just deal with it. Sarah, obviously your guitar is amazing. I love it. I've even asked you for your particular paint job on one of my guitars because I'm such a fan. Why don't you talk a little bit about your actual guitar? What is it made out of? What was the design process like in your head, the whole nine?
Yeah, well, so it's based off of the Bowden metal model because I really love that design. I think Ola knocked it out of the park. I mean, with all of his designs, but that one especially suits my style. So it has a chambered basswood body with a maple top and a flame. I think it's it's a roasted maple neck and an ebony fretboard, and it has the Fishmanfluence moderns in it. And then for the paint job, wait, did you ask me to go into the paint job? I can't remember. Sorry, I haven't had any coffee today.
Yes, yeah, sure. Talk about everything. The inspiration behind it, like the whole, just give everybody the picture.
Okay. So basically, a couple years into my partnership with Ola, he saw that I like to make art, I like to paint, I like to draw, and he was like, "Would you like to design your own Strandberg? I can send you, a primed body blank, and you can just paint it and turn it into our shop, and we'll coat it and send it back to you." And I was like, "Yeah, that would be awesome. I would absolutely love to do that." And so I got the guitar and I sat down with it, and I had 3 months, right? I had a super long time to make this paint job. And I was so scared. I was thinking about it, and I was like, "Oh man, if I make a really ugly paint job, I will have ruined a super nice guitar, and everyone will be like, why did you destroy that beautiful instrument with your terrible art?" So I was just petrified of touching it. And then I had 2 days till the deadline, when you have to turn it in, come on, we got to get this done. And so I sat down probably about 2 hours, maybe a little bit more, before I drove it down to Chicago to get finished. And I just started painting it, and I was like, well, this is gonna have to do. And so, yeah, it wasn't even fully dry by the time I got it down to Chicago to get finished. So it was very intuitive, but I think that's a good reflection of who I am as a person. I can't do things until it's up to the absolute deadline, and then just then it happens, and it is what it is, and it's going to be what it's going to be. So this guitar is a huge representation of me and my personality, and I love color, and I use a ton of color in my artwork, and I try to emulate that sonically in my music. So yeah, that's the guitar. And I love that so many people I know that are multi-medium artists that they play guitar, they play other instruments, and they paint, and they make art, or they sew. So many people have gravitated to this guitar that are all like that, and I'm just like, yay! My people have found my guitar. This is so cool.
That's awesome. Well, Ola, you want to add to this at all? As far as this guitar goes, was it easy to design? Was it easy to work with Sarah? Was she difficult?
No, not at all. I've no memory of it being a painful process from that perspective. So obviously, what you see on these production guitars is now a digital recreation of Sarah's artwork. So she hand painted the first one, and played that for a number of years, and then when it got time to just build to make Sarah's actual signature guitar, she made a digital rendition of that original artwork, which is what we reproduce on these guitars. And it's they are works of art.
They are, and you've been putting a lot of Fishman pickups in your guitars as for a while now. What was the first impression that you had on the Fishmanfluence pickups, like right when you heard them? What were you thinking?
Well, I back in the day when the first guitars came out from Strandberg, we used another pickup brand, which in my mind made a lot of sense from what we were trying to accomplish. But we were basically in a situation where we had to justify our choice constantly. We were in communications with customers, and we had to justify, why did you choose this pickup, and there were some issues with them. So I read some article about I think the technical construction of the Fluence pickups, and with the circuit board instead of the bobbin of coils. And that my engineering mind just said, yes, that's the 21st century pickup. It just made such complete sense from that perspective. So it just completely appealed to me. And I think this was even before they were on the market. They were featured in some magazine. And I immediately, I sent an email to you guys and was asking about the weight of these pickups, etc. I don't think I ever got a response, but I was a lot of into cutting weight of the total weight of the guitar. But yeah, when I had a chance to actually try them, I kind of rely on others to give me like proper feedback on pickups, because I don't have the playing in my like gut as much as a proper player. I tend to play guitars acoustically, and I can feel what makes sense to me. But I guess my skill is I can hear what people are saying. I listen to people. I digest what they tell me. And I've talked to a lot of people about their impressions of the Fluence pickups. And I think one of the things that make them work really well with Strandbergs is that due to the way that our guitars are constructed, the material choices and the construction itself, and how everything is tightly coupled, our instruments are just very quick responding, to the point that some people think they're intimidating because they respond so quickly. And there's also just this massive headroom. If you play a Strandberg lightly, it'll be quiet, and if you dig in, it'll be loud. And the Fishman pickups are just a perfect match for that behavior. And I heard Tosin explain it to me that it was like some of the things that he would normally do in mastering a recording, he didn't have to do on the Fishman pickups, because they peaked so quickly in picking up the signal as he was playing. So I just think it's...
Ooh, sorry, we lost...
We're having technical issues?
Yeah, we're there now. Sorry about that. We just lost you for a second.
All right, no worries.
But you were saying about Tosin and mastering.
Yeah, he was saying some of the things that he would normally have to do in mastering of his recordings, he no longer had to do with the Fluence pickups, because they they respond so quickly. So as you hit a note in a conventional magnetic pickup, it will take a while before the signal builds up. The magnetic field actually builds up and generates some current. Whereas a Fluence pickup just picks up that vibration right away. So I think that's what makes them really well suited for the Strandberg guitar. And then again, just the engineering, it just makes such sense.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Before I go back over to Sarah, everyone who's watching this live stream, you can head over to the Fishman YouTube in order to click the link in the description to enter to win a set of modern 6, 7, or 8 string pickups. We will also pick a winner by the end of this live stream. So enter to win. And don't forget, head over to Sarah's YouTube page, Sarah Longfield's YouTube page, subscribe to her channel, and subscribe to Strandberg's channel. But I'm going to bring this over to Sarah as well. So Sarah, what was it like when you first experienced Fluence? Because I know that you were using some other stuff, and then one day it just happened. So talk about your journey.
Yeah, so I had a few friends at the time that were talking up the Fluence pickups, and I was pretty happy with the company that I was with. You know, I use active pickups because I think I don't use any compressors in my signals, so I think, you know, the active pickup kind of acts as the compressor. And they were talking about how they're active, but they're still dynamic, and they seem to, like Ola was talking about, catch the sound faster than other pickups. So I was at NAMM, and I found your guys' booth, and we sat down, and I got to try some of the pickups, and immediately I was like, yep, this sound, it felt like the second, there was no delay at all. Like, the second I touched the string, you know, I was getting sound, and I liked the sound that I heard, and I really enjoy how versatile the pickups are. I feel like I can get so many different types of tones out of these pickups, especially, you know, a lot of people hate on active pickups, or I guess we could refer to them as powered pickups more, but they say that there's not enough dynamic variation, and they're not versatile. You can't use them for so many different things. But I think with the Fluence series, it's not even a question, you know. And I think the moderns and the Tosins and, you know, so many of the other versions of them all sound phenomenal and are all super versatile. So it's been a no-brainer for me. I love the pickups, and I'll probably keep using them forever.
Nice. Well, Ola, let's bring it back over to you. So, you know, obviously, you know, Sarah's guitar has Fluence pickups in it, but you have a number of other instruments, which we kind of touched upon earlier. I mean, how do these actually complement your guitars? I mean, what is it that, I know that you're not necessarily picking up the guitar yourself and really digging in, and you take the advice of others, but what is it that you're hearing the feedback from as far as how they actually complementing the instrument in itself?
Yeah, I think so. Basically, we use Fishmanfluence pickups in almost all of our 7 and 8 strings, and on our Bowden Metal line in particular, which Sarah's guitar is built from. We also use it on the 6-string guitar, and we've just found that when you get into the extended range, so the 7 and 8 string guitars, that does put it just put additional pressure, or for lack of a better word, on the pickup, and it just places new requirements on what a pickup has to accomplish. And I just think that the Fishmanfluence architecture and technology is better suited for that. So it works really, really well in our 7 and 8 string guitars. So it's been a very logical choice for us to have those as our go-to pickup. Nice.
Well, we have a question right here for you. I was gonna put this on the screen because I think it's funny. What type of music do you play? But what music do you play when you play guitar, or would you play?
I play chromatic music. I play every note on every string, and I check for buzz in the process.
Right.
That's kind of what I play.
Ola's solo album is coming out this month. don't miss it out. It's going to be on Spotify. So actually, here's a question for you. Can you talk about the Strandberg Bowden Neck Through 7S?
I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a question when it'll come, because the 7-string neck through, I don't think we've like formally announced it, but I mean this has been a weird year. We had a development roadmap that contained all kinds of interesting things, and yes, a 7-string neck through was on it, but it is no longer.
So this is secret information.
So,
I shouldn't have mentioned it.
No, it's logical that it'll make it one day. Back when we had the custom shop, we built tons of neck through, both 7 strings and 8 strings. It's just it hasn't made it into production yet, and we've had to reprioritize all kinds of things this year. Not necessarily because we wanted to, but because we were forced to for various reasons. Yeah, it's been a strange year. Well,
it's funny that you mentioned it's been a strange year. Obviously, there's been so many things that have happened this year. And I'm going to ask both of you this question because I think this is important for everybody to know. But 2020, again, it's been an interesting year. What is this year in particular? What has it taught you? Because I know obviously there's been a lot of challenges with releasing new product or doing certain things. But for Strandberg Guitars, what is this? It could be positive, it could be negative. What has this year basically taught you?
Well, I think it's reinforced again that the best laid plans can just be tossed out the window, and it's not the end of the world. I mean, you just have to regroup and roll with it, and basically do what you can with the resources and whatever abilities you have. That wasn't necessarily a new lesson to be learned. I think building a company is full of lessons like that. And there's always, I think, at least in my experience, I can't generalize and say always, but in my experience, every challenge like this has come out with some kind of silver lining, something that you look back on it and you think, oh, I'm glad that didn't happen, because it allowed us to focus on this other thing, or it allowed us to do this other thing that we didn't plan.
Serendipity.
yeah. So even though it's been a weird year, and I mean, we just constantly have to field questions. What about this model? What about that model? And you showed this one at NAMM, you showed that one at NAMM. Where are they? And so it's been rough. But
yeah,
we're getting there. We're trying to catch up, and
well,
I'm sure we're going to look back at this, and it's going to be a big year. I mean, financially, it's been an amazing year because people buy musical instruments like crazy.
Yeah. Well, Dev's writing to me. I never really answer questions on these things, but Ken, what has this year taught me? This year has taught me that I get to live stream. Fishman loves live streaming, and we get to talk to awesome people like Ola. And more importantly, we like to have celebrities pop in every once in a while and ask questions. Mr. Thomas McRocklin, Chromatic Music, Ola, a man after his own, my own heart. So Ola is going to be buying, Thomas is going to be buying Ola's record when it comes out. So Sarah, what about you? I mean, obviously, you're not touring. You're obviously can't be active as a professional musician. What has this year taught you?
Well, I would agree with Ola in that I think there are going to be a lot of silver linings at the end of all this. I think it's going to change a lot of things for the better. And I guess for what it's taught me, I don't know. I mean, I was already kind of taking a little break from touring because I'm in college right now. So honestly, not a whole lot of my life has changed. I make more YouTube videos now. I got into modular synthesis, which was a thing that I was going to put off until like my 40s or 50s, when I had more money and what I would assume to be more time. But I was like, well, now I have more time, and who knows if I'm going to have any money or even live to be 40, so I'm gonna get into modular synths right now. So that's been it's been a dent in my savings, but it's been fun and it's changed my music. And so I guess that's good. You know, I've been exploring new genres of music and new ways of making music. And I bought the cello. So yeah, I don't know. It's good. I don't love lockdown, but nobody does. So I'm just trying to make the best of it and make music and just chill till this is all over.
Are you prepared to play us a song on the cello right now, or no?
Definitely not. I don't know how to play cello. I put it in my videos because I've like kind of figured it out by ear a little bit, but when this ends, I definitely want to get a cello teacher officially. So then I'll do live stream cello stuff.
All right, you'll be on Fishman. We're gonna set you up with some acoustic pickups for sure.
That would be great.
Well, if everybody's still out there, we just want to make sure we have a lot of people watching right now, and we want to let everybody know that we are giving away a set of modern humbuckers, 6, 7, or 8 string set to one lucky winner by the end of the stream. And the reason why I keep popping on and telling you this is because we are about to give it away. We don't have that much time left with our guests, but we will be saying head over to our YouTube page, click the link in the description, and if you're watching from the Strandberg feed, or if you're watching from the Fishman Facebook, you will see the link to head over to our YouTube right now in order to win this. So with that being said, I have a few more questions for our guests. Ola, so beyond, knowing like 2020 being such a unique year, what is the best thing about owning your own guitar company, your own brand? Like, is it designing the guitars, or is it something else beyond that?
Well, I think starting small, and since this was a hobby outside a full-time day job, I would grow into it. And I mean, it was designing the hardware, it was building the actual guitars, and then that kind of evolved into getting PayPals across, or pen pals across the world. Basically, I would sell the hardware to other builders, see what they came up with, building them. Then I had to get into photography to photograph my the guitars I built. I had to figure out how to build a website, to do e-commerce, to do bookkeeping, etc., etc., etc. So I would just do everything myself, and that kept it interesting. And then obviously a few years into it, I realized that maybe this is a career. So I started phasing down my day job, and I quit. So that was basically in 2015, so it's not long ago. And I hired my wife. We hired our son, and then we just had to add people and start delegating work. But I think what's been the driver for a long time is just being challenged with new things all the time until it's too many new things. So yeah, definitely. If I get a few days of like not super stressful, regular running a business type problems, and I can get my like frame of mind into designing something,
yeah,
that's definitely it.
That's awesome. I love the
but
fact.
then just yeah, but just working with musicians and artists and just people who create. That's still rewarding also.
Yeah, I like what you said too about like the pen pal aspect of it too, because you just get in this whole new network and you meet all these new people with all the things that they want, and it's, for you being creative, it must be totally stimulating, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice. Let me head back over to Sarah. Sarah, so is there anything that you're doing or anything that you're noticing now with being home as much as you are? I mean, musicians definitely, you get in your creative bubble. Is it making you more creative, or is it making you, I guess, find more things to inspire you to write music? Because obviously you're probably in front of a computer a lot. Which one is it? Is it both? Is it one or the other?
I would say out of necessity, I've been forcing myself to find inspiration in as many things as I can. I try to go outside when it's not freezing cold, which is not very often. I'm trying to like read more and, watch other creators, watch what they're doing, other musicians, and try to find new music. I think it's hard to do because I think creativity is kind of like an input output kind of thing. I think, like our art and our music is sort of like the output from our experiences, whether that's conscious or not. I think it just is the case. So when you're limited to basically going to Target to get food and then sitting in your house all day, working on your computer, working from home, it's hard to find that input and that stimulation to fuel that creativity. But I think it's good because it's forced me to find new outlets that aren't necessarily external experiences, and I can focus more inward and with the things I have around me. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Ola, there's a question that keeps popping in over here, so I have to put it on the screen. And any plans for a Strandberg take on a V? Are you gonna go there?
Is that the recurring question in the feed?
It keeps, believe it or not, I don't know if it's the same person, but I've seen it 3 or 4 times. So people want a V shape from you, I guess.
Who knows? I can't rule anything out, but I'll say it's not the first of our next coming designs.
Nice. So let me ask you this on a serious note. So out of all the things that you've done, what is it that that Strandberg tries to do better than anybody else? Because there's always, I mean, I know you're trying to make a better guitar than everybody else, but I'm saying is there one specific thing that you set out to do to say that's my trademark, that's the thing that I always like to do?
I think what we refer to as the Strandberg family has become that thing, and it's just everyone that is attracted to the Strandberg brand, and I'm not entirely sure how this happened, but it's like we have chosen the people that we work with as artist and ambassadors. We've chosen very, very carefully, and always made sure we get people who thoroughly enjoy playing our guitars. We haven't written any exclusivities into our contracts. We just trust that whoever we work with prefers to play this guitar. And I think it's brushed off on a lot of people that play Strandberg. So just looking at our like Facebook groups, etc., it's very civil. It's very very encouraging. We have a lot of female players. We've consciously tried to keep a balance in our artist ambassadors from that perspective, and it's just a nice place to be. The people that work here are nice. The people we interact with are nice, and I don't see that in a lot of other places. So I'm very, very proud of that. And it's good.
That's awesome. I'm gonna say you're getting a lot of questions now since you're on screen. Luke is asking, Ola, did you run into any roadblocks with the body cutout designs?
Entirely sure what the question is. I mean, roadblocks. There's very small. There's not a lot of room for a cavity in here.
Yep.
I did see another question fly by if we were thinking of integrating the Fishman battery pack and stuff like that. And
oh yeah,
it can kind of fit in there, but then the connector doesn't fit very well. So that is kind of it's a constraint that you have to work around. So, nice. But in my experience, everything is a compromise, and that's what makes most things fun. You have to like figure out how to work within some set of constraints, and these cutouts are one set that you sometimes have to work around.
Nice. I have one more question for the both of you. Maybe leaning more towards Sarah, but let's just tell everybody real quick. We only have a few minutes left, maybe only 2 or 3 minutes left. But if you have not submitted into winning this set of 6, 7, or 8 string modern humbuckers by Fishman, you have to head over to the Fishman YouTube now, click the link in the description, and then you will potentially get a free set of Fluence modern humbuckers. But the only way to get that, again, is to head over to YouTube. Now, Sarah, I'm going to start off with you because this is always good because musicians always like to change their mind. Hawk gear. If there was one guitar or one instrument at that you wish you never got rid of, which one was the one that got away? Tell me. Like, there's something that you sold and you made a mistake in your lifetime.
This is really weird, but my electronic drum kit, I had to return it because I was too broke to make the credit card payments on it. And I really miss it. It was so fun to play. I don't know. I'm not super attached to like gear itself. I'm attached to what it can do and what I can do with it. So like, I really have no sentimental attachment to any of my guitars except the one I painted, you know, for obvious reasons, because that defined like a huge chunk of my life. But other than that, no, I just really wish I had an electronic drum set.
Well, guys, if you're out there and you want to buy Sarah an electronic drum set, she's taking all handouts. Val is actually writing real quick. Sarah, so glad to have discovered you. You're inspirational, and your music is inspired as well. Thank you so much. Thanks, Val. It's cool that we got the opportunity, to say that directly. Ola, there's got to be a guitar or something that you owned, a machine even to build guitars. What is it that you sold and you shouldn't have?
No, I have such a short memory for stuff like that, and just like Sarah, I don't get attached to stuff. So as soon as we get off this, I'll remember it, but I can't.
Yeah, jump into the comment section and write it in.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey, we have 1 minute left. I can't thank you guys enough. This has been awesome. We have selected a winner for this giveaway. Let's show it on the screen one more time. Sorry. The Fishman giveaway today is a set of 6, 7, or 8 string modern humbuckers, and we wanted to give you, the viewer, something cool to win, and we have selected a winner. And the winner of the 6, 7, and 8 string modern humbuckers is Kim King, Kimking. So congratulations, Kim. You won a set of Fluence modern humbuckers of your choice. And what we will do is we will contact you. We have all your information. So that's awesome, right? Are they going to like it, Sarah? All right.
For sure.
Sorry, I was muted. It's my dog. He's in the background, so I always mute myself just in case he's barking. So.
Yeah, your dog Boots, loud dog.
Yes.
All right. Well, hey, listen. On behalf of Fishman, obviously we love our partnership, but we love working with the both of you. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. I know that you both have busy lives, but this has been absolutely great, and we can't thank you enough.
You bet. Thanks, Ken.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Good to see you, Sarah. It's been a while.
Yeah, you too, Ola.
All right, I'm going to send everybody out now. Hey, sorry. That's just Sarah, and boom. Hey, guys. This is Ken Susi with the Fishman Partnership Series. I am your host. Sorry about that little glitch right there. But we will be here every day at 2 o'clock p.m., and we will be going live for the Fishman Partnership Series. Tomorrow we'll have a new guest. Show up. Maybe we'll be giving something else for free away, or one of our partners will be giving something else away for free. But I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'd like to thank Sarah Longfield and Strandberg Guitars for being here with us today. So we'll see you next time.